Good evening. Welcome. Welcome indeed. It is a GeForce Now Thursday chat. I'm so glad you can join me. It's been a wonderful day here in sunny England. And I was just chilling out in the late evening in the garden, umming and ahhing about whether I should do the show from the garden. But thought, no, we've got to be professional. We go to the studio. So here we are in the studio, and we have so much to talk about tonight. Yes, of course, it was confirmed this week. We talked about it on Monday on the Xbox Monday Night Chat. But of course, it's Xbox related. It's GeForce Now related because Xbox Game Pass for PC is coming to GeForce Now. And that's a big deal. And talking of Xbox PC games, this week sees the arrival of Age of Empires 4 Anniversary Edition, I think it is. But not only that, we got confirmation this week, which we'll come to. Xdefiant is coming to GeForce Now, which is absolutely great. And I think it is part of the trials as well, which is sort of open to everyone. All that and much, much more. So I think it's time to roll the titles. I'm going to have to do it manually because my Stream Deck is playing up. So I will just, I'll do it manually. I can click on a mouse. There. Can you hear me all right? I'm testing today. I've got the... No, don't say we're playing. It's whenever my daughter's playing with the... We'll soon find out. Let me know if you can hear me and all of that. The mic is on. We're playing up again. Somebody's been playing with the microphones. Yeah, I can't hear myself there. That's worrying. Let me know if you can hear me at all, because otherwise we've got the same problem. Oh, good. Loud and clear. Thank goodness for that. Why can't I hear myself on my live? Probably playing on the car or on somebody's Bluetooth speaker somewhere. Anyway, I'm glad that you can hear me loud and clear. That's super great to know and very reassuring. But 10 minutes ago, my daughter was playing Minecraft on this very account, and different setups get used, and sometimes things don't get reset in time. But it was one of those, chill days. No rush, no panic. So here we are. So the big news, of course, housekeeping first. Lovely to see you all. Make sure you hit the likes as you enter. It's a bit like sort of put your coats in the cloakroom over there and hit the likes over there. And if you're new, grab yourself a complimentary subscribe and hit the subscribe button and toggle the notification bell. And that way you'll know when I go live with content like this. We're going to be talking about, obviously, Xbox Games Pass for PC. Let me know what you think about it. It's very exciting. But I'll try and break down. So, had a conversation with GeForce Now team earlier in the week, actually. So I'll try and share what I can and break down what it actually means. And if you have any questions, maybe there are similar questions that were raised in the meeting with NVIDIA GeForce Now earlier this week. And so hopefully I can sort of give you a guide of how it might all play out, of course. Let's just say hello to everybody in the chat while we're here. ER Gaming, lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. Neil J, thank you for being here as well. Right. Let's go to the first bit of news, ladies and gentlemen, which is, yes. Okay, so it seems we've got confirmation. We've talked about how, I've certainly talked about how, I think if even the most cynical person when it comes to cloud gaming, just show them GeForce Now Ultimate. It's such a wow thing. And we had the very people from Digital Foundry, the people who are really fussy about latency, picture quality, pixelation, everything, highly cynical, PC, the sort of the high priests of the PC master race and console gaming fidelity and all of that. Well, interestingly enough, they were blown away. John Linneman of Digital Foundry was blown away when he tried GeForce Now using the 4080 Ultimate tier. And we'll go to it here. Oh, no, we won't. We have to do it manually, don't we? There we go. Here. So what he was doing... let me just find some earlier in the trail. He was... yeah, so he was talking about xCloud here specifically, and he was saying, I think he was playing Forza Horizon here. Tried xCloud again. My connection kind of sucks. 150 megabits per second down, but I feel like it should be able to work better than this. The input lag isn't bad, but the image quality and performance reminded me of like real player videos. So the sort of the video playback, literally you get, he's liking it to real player videos, which is a bit sad. And then he's going, you know, image quality sample here. Can anyone share a video of xCloud running a game flawlessly in terms of frame rate? I mean, you know, with no stutters, no judder, 100% match for real hardware. Is this even possible? And somebody said, well, you should try GeForce Now Ultimate. So he did. You know, having said I tried GeForce Now before and I wasn't always that, you know, that impressed with it. Anyway, he tries GeForce Now Ultimate. All right. So I just tested the latest version of GeForce Now using a 4080, and wow, I'm not on board with cloud as the only option, but it genuinely, and this is the key thing, this is a real cynic, a real, you know, person who spends his life examining the number of pixels on screen, the pixelation, the blacks, the darkness, you know, in the corners and all of that. I'm not on board with cloud as the only option, but it genuinely almost feels like a native game running at 120 frames per second. As alternative access to your library, it's pretty amazing. High praise indeed from John. He, you know, video editor, producer, and senior staff writer for Digital Foundry. You know, they are the people you go to or people look up to in the sort of, in the journo industry, in the games industry, when it comes to fidelity and quality. They spend their time testing, you know, the games they're on the kind of higher settings and stuff like that, and reporting on them, whether it's cyberpunk and all of that. So real cynics when it comes to cloud gaming. And you could see the cynicism in, you know, being very dissatisfied with the way that xCloud worked when he tried it earlier this week, but was encouraged to give GeForce Now Ultimate tier a go. And there we go. It genuinely almost feels like a native game running 120 frames per second. As an alternative access to your library, it's pretty amazing. GeForce Now should put that like as a quote, yeah, on their posters. So I just thought I'd share that because I think, you know, it's really good to see. Because I kind of tweeted out, I said, yeah, exactly, wow. Oh yeah, I should clarify, the 4080 refers to the virtual GPU on the cloud side. You don't need a high-end GPU to use it at all. That's the whole point. So we're just emphasizing that. Exactly, wow. I challenge, and I responded here saying exactly, wow, because that's what he says. Wow. I challenge any cloud gaming cynic to try the GFN Ultimate tier and not be blown away. I have 50 megabits per second download speed and it's flawless. Albeit I'm wired in and not Wi-Fi. If your internet is decent, it's a great experience. And if you don't have a top-end gaming rig, a great alternative to play PC games at max settings. And you go, but don't you need to also buy the games in addition to paying the £19? a month subscription. Well, yeah, you need to own / purchase the games. It's ideal for those who already have an existing PC library like Steam, Epic Games Store, Ubisoft Connect, as it allows you to play the games you already own on GFN, provided they're supported on the platform. Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, high praise indeed. So I just thought I'd share with that. It's good to see. Yeah. Just show that to any cynics out there, I would say. It is amazing. The GeForce Now Ultimate is absolutely amazing. It'll blow you away if you've not tried it. It's really, really good. So confirmation. So I think it was over the, when was it? I think, was it the Ubisoft Forward? Can't remember which one. Yes, it was Ubi Forward. And they were talking about Xdefiant. And here, in 30 seconds, this is what you may have missed. Let's get the old desktop audio. Hopefully it'll work. Click on that. Make that big.
Its biggest announcement yet at Ubisoft Forward. At the event, executive producer Mark Rubin took the stage to share that the game will be launching later this summer and announced that an open session will be held starting June 21st on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PlayStation 5. We also got a roadmap of content to come, starting with a 6-week preseason at launch, filled with content. We also got our first look at what Year 1 will hold, with 4 new factions and 12 new weapons and maps. I'm personally pretty excited because Xdefiant just made its biggest announcement yet at Ubisoft Forward. At the event, executive producer Mark Rubin took the stage to share that the game will be launching later this summer and announced that an open session will
So the open session on June the 21st. So that's really great to know. And now,
on PC,
and then
Xbox
NVIDIA
Series
GeForce
S
Now
and PlayStation
tweeted
5.
out,
We also got a
recently
roadmap of
announced that
content to
Ubi
come,
Forward
starting with a
X-Play
6-week
Defiant will be
preseason
coming to GFN
filled
at
with
launch.
We also got
Get
our
ready
first
to
look
add
at
this
what Year 1 will
fast-paced
hold,
free-to-play
4 new
FPS to your library. I'm super
factions,
excited about
12
this
new
because
weapons and
you're going to be
personally
getting
excited
120 frames per
Xdefiant
second
just made
at
its
least
biggest
on this,
announcement yet at Ubisoft
because
Forward.
they have
At the event,
confirmed
executive producer
for
Mark Rubin took the
Xbox
stage to
and
share that the game will be
PC.
launching later this summer and announced that an open session will be held starting June 21st
No, for
on PC,
Xbox Series X and
X,
PlayStation 5.
We
They've
also got a
confirmed
roadmap
that
of
this will be
content to come,
playing at
starting
120
with a
frames per
6-week
second. So
preseason
you
at
can
launch,
rest assured
filled with content.
on GeForce
We also
Now,
got
probably
our
even
first
on
look at
GeForce
Year 1
Now
will hold, 4
priority,
new factions and
you'll be
12
able to
new weapons
probably
and
get
maps.
120 frames per
I'm
second
personally
out of
pretty
it. And on
excited
GeForce Now
because
Ultimate,
Xdefiant just made its biggest announcement
even
yet at
more.
Ubisoft
I'm a big
Forward.
fan
At
of
the
what
event,
I've seen
executive
so
producer
far.
Mark Rubin took the stage to share that the game will
Just switch off the desktop. I'm a big fan of what I've seen so far of Xdefiant. I've taken part in a couple of the betas on Xdefiant, so I'm so pleased and chuffed that it's coming to GeForce Now because I think it's going to play absolutely brilliant. And I do enjoy, even though I'm not very good at it, I do enjoy a bit of competitive FPS. And actually, I was sort of average to middling on the beta tests on this. Which for me, I'm quite happy. I'm sort of Halo level, which I was quite happy with. I sort of seem to be matched with, I mean, there are people much better than me, but I wasn't at the bottom of the rung. And so I'm happy with that. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's great news. Now, I'm not sure whether it will be part of the open sessions that start in January and on June the 21st. Maybe I'll have to get clarity on that from GeForce Now. I will inquire for you and we'll see whether we can get clarity on that. Just check my mic there. Yeah. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is really just building on the PC Game Pass. And Xbox Phil Spencer says the company doesn't view the PC audience as a window. It's a market that deserves our game day one. So that's a bit of a dig, I think, at PlayStation. That will say have a PlayStation exclusive and then it will arrive on PC later down the road. And they're sort of saying, no, Xbox Game Pass games like Starfield, whatever, day one on PC, console, in the cloud, And hopefully, fingers crossed, it should also mean on GeForce Now as well. Xbox, yeah. Microsoft will generate $1 billion in PC gaming revenue this year. Wow. There we go. Ka-ching. Now, that was Capcom. Just whizzing through the news. All last week. Right. Okay. I think we're kind of caught up there. Let's go to the blog and just catch up quickly on the blog and round it all up. Do not pass go. Do collect more games. Xbox Game Pass coming to GeForce Now. So as confirmed here, it was confirmed by Sarah Bond, the marketing VP of Xbox. Thrilled to share that in the coming months, you'll be able to play your Xbox Game Pass PC games through NVIDIA GeForce Now. Can't wait to jump in. Now, they're obviously still going through the onboarding process in terms of bringing the games. And, you know, it is undeniably, it's quite slow. They're working at it. You know, this week we see another Xbox PC game, no, just the one, in the shape of Age of Empires 4. And that's on via Steam. But what they're trying to do is get the Xbox PC Games app so that you can connect it. And then if you've got Game Pass, it recognizes that. If you own the games through the Microsoft Store, it recognizes that. And hopefully, whether you own them through Steam or through Xbox, the Xbox PC app, you'll be able to access them. And the idea then is that if the game gets onboarded to GeForce Now, and it happens to be on Xbox Game Pass as well, you can play it. I mean, the aspiration there is obviously for them all to be in there, but there's always that onboarding process. So there's no guarantee that every single game on Xbox Game Pass PC will be on GeForce Now. And equally, a lot of the games a number of games on Xbox Game Pass are third-party games. So there are other existing rights and arrangements and other publishers involved that may, for instance, prevent some of the games ending, that are on Xbox Game Pass being available on GeForce Now. But the aspiration, I think, is there that, if it's available via Game Pass PC, all good intentions, hopefully it'll be available on GeForce Now. That is the main thinking behind it anyway. We're working closely with Microsoft to enable members to play select PC titles. It was this select PC titles that got me sort of thinking. Interesting wording. From Microsoft Store, just as they can today on GeForce Now with their Steam, Epic's Game Store, and Ubisoft Connect and GOG on GOG.com accounts. So that's the idea. You basically will connect your GeForce Now account with your Microsoft Store account, and seamlessly, as they've sort of developed over the years or so, you seamlessly dive into a game just as you would if you own it on Steam, Epic Game Store, and Ubisoft Connect. No loads of signing in all the time and stuff like that. Nice and smooth. Members who subscribe to PC Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will be able to stream these select PC titles, PC titles from the Games Pass library without downloads or additional purchases. So the Game Pass library will be part of the Microsoft Store, and if the games are on GeForce Now, then you'll be able to kind of play them via that. That's the idea. That's how it should be working. With hundreds of PC titles in the Game Pass catalogue, Xbox and PC games together can look forward to future GFN hundreds, ladies and gentlemen, hundreds of PC titles. Xbox and PC gamers together can look forward to future GFN Thursday to see what's next. PC games from Xbox game stores and Bethesda on Steam and Epic game stores will continue to be released, giving members more ways to play their favorite Xbox titles. And of course, the beauty is the ability for GeForce Now members to stream at high performance across devices. So there's all this, obviously, this kind of conversation going on around Starfield, which is looking absolutely epic in scale, but only being locked at 30 frames per second. That's on console. Does that mean then hopefully GeForce Now Ultimate is the best place to play it outside having your own 4080 rig? Is GeForce Now Ultimate going to be the best place to play Starfield? Fingers crossed. That is the case, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed that is the case. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, Age of Empires 4. I believe Age of Empires 2 and Age of Empires 4, I think many people consider to be the best Age of Empires games. So it's good to be kicking off with Age of Empires 4. And it's a good one to kick off with because it has a kind of tutorial mode for complete noobs. I might give it a go. They're not my cup of tea. I'll be frank with you. Yeah, RTS games are not really my cup of tea. But if I get my hands on Age of Empires 4, I might give it a go because, as I say, it has a tutorial. You don't need to have played Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3. And it sort of has beginner mode. So it's got here, choose a path to greatness and become a part of history through the campaign story mode with a tutorial designed for first-time players, or challenge the world in competitive or cooperative online matches that include ranked seasons. There we go. And I tell you what, as a fan of sort of southeastish France, Dordogne. Oh, it's making me long for the summer. Although it's feeling that, like we've had for those that live in the UK, it's been a wonderful week. Beautiful. I was in the garden till what? As I say, but 15 minutes before this show, I'm in an hour in it. So, there was still light. It was and warm. I was in a t-shirt in the garden, at 9:30 at night. Lovely. Been doing hard labor. I had a delivery of 800 kilograms of green gravel and no wheelbarrow with which to transport it from the front of my house to the back of the house. So basically, this evening, is basically involved me using an IKEA bag. Oh my gosh, IKEA bags are strong. A shovel, and basically shoveling gravel into an IKEA bag, and then using my muscles to drag it round to the garden to lay it in my sort of what I hope to be my Zen garden. Anyway, that's what I've been doing this evening. And I got distracted there. Yes, and basically Dordogne looks like a beautiful game. My sister lives in France, not in Dordogne. They call Dordogne, I think it's Dordogne. They call it Dordogneshire. That's the nickname for Dordogne because it's full of English people who go out there to retire. My sister lives in not far from Dordogne, but in a different area. It's really, really nice. And I tend to go out there in the summer where I can, go and see her with the kids. And it's just, yeah. So seeing the trailer for Dordogne, which has a kind of it has like real film footage of the painter walking around lovely little towns and villages of Dordogne, and then inserted within that is the beautifully sort of hand painted like watercolors of Dordogne, and it strikes me as a real kind of chill, relaxing game to play. If you've not watched my news video today, then make sure you do. It's got the trailer for Dordogne, and it just looks a real chill game. And it's days like this Imagine, it's a sort of game I can imagine playing on a mobile device. Not that I play games on a mobile device, but actually, a day like this, sitting in the garden, playing Dodoin, beautiful. In fact, whenever I go to France, maybe I could play Dodoin. Beautiful, lovely. Let's see what you guys have been saying before we go there. I must admit, it's a bit disappointing, really, again. Let's not sugarcoat it. Another 2 games. It's not been a lot of games. I mean, the Game Pass news is momentous, right? And I guess you could say, oh, yeah, we're not getting any games. You know, where are the games? Where are the games? But the thing is, we know we're getting the games. So it's not as though there is an unknown. We know that we're getting Xbox PC games, and when they've sorted out the Microsoft Store app and everything and got that going and onboarded the games, we're going to have a whole shed load of games. And obviously with Xbox Game Pass coming as well. So we know there's some epic games coming down the line. It's just frustrating that they seem to be dripping slowly but surely. I guess that is disappointing. But as I say, at least we know they're coming, and we just have to be patient. That's the key thing. Many of the ambassadors had the ambassador. You're spoiling us, ambassador. The GeForce Now ambassadors had a meeting with GeForce Now earlier this week, and they're working behind the scenes. It's not like we can't say, they can't tell us, other than saying there's some exciting things coming down the line, but that's it. All they can do is tease us with it, and let us know that they're working hard to get these Xbox PC games onboarded, but it takes time, and they've got to test things and stuff like that. And obviously the main thing is to get the app up and running and work with Microsoft. And, you know, we're in the sort of height of the marketing season in terms of announcements, a lot of focus on that and stuff like that. But it's coming, right? We just need to be a little bit of patience, but I get the frustration that exists. I really do. I appreciate it. I can appreciate why people get a bit frustrated. See what you lot have said. ER Gaming says, great news. Even better that you can choose the lower PC Game Pass option and still play in the cloud. Exactly, yes. As I highlighted, I think, in my news video, in the UK, the Xbox Game Pass for PC alone, to say you don't have an Xbox, it's a great option. It's £7.99. I mean, that is cheaper than Ubisoft, isn't it? Ubisoft Connect. And I would argue you're getting significantly more games. Now, if you're a big fan of all the Far Cry's and Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, then obviously Ubisoft is a great value. But yeah, in the UK, it's £7.99. So that's quite a good little package on its own. I mean, I pay, I don't know, 14 quid, something like that, 14, 15 quid for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And then that gives me everything. But then I have an Xbox. And my son utilizes it, I utilize it. But the ability to play games, like I've said, I can't wait to be able to play Halo on GeForce Now Ultimate, and now Starfield. Hopefully there's no issue with that, and Starfield is accessible. That's going to be absolutely great. So $7.99. I mean, imagine $7.99 and you could play Starfield. You just give it a go for 1 month. $7.99, and just try it. Like I've said before, I got Xbox Game Pass when it first rolled out. And the first big first-party game that was day and date available on Game Pass was Sea of Thieves. And at the time, I thought I could pay 50 quid, whatever it was, for Sea of Thieves, or I think it was like a £1 trial for 3 months. and have access to Sea of Thieves plus hundreds of other games. It's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. And, and I've been sucked in ever since. But I take, it's a nice to have. But it's going to be a real added bonus being able to play these games, sitting here. I mean, I could download them and all that, and I could play them here anyway, but I don't like, as people know, I don't like downloading games onto my PC. And, and the beauty of GeForce Now is I don't have to. I downgraded Priority to try it and then had to re-upgrade within a few days. Ultimate is just so worth it, even if I have to cut back elsewhere. Well, the trouble is, Neil, you know what you've done there? Silk. Yeah? Once you've had silk, cotton will never do, as they say. Yeah? It's hard to go back. Once you've tasted the sweet nectar, the sweet nectar that is GeForce Now Ultimate, it's really hard to go back. It's like traveling business class. And then suddenly the company goes, sorry, economies, no more business class, everyone in economy. It's like, this is horrible. I don't like it. So I'm really spoilt there. But you know what I mean? Once you sort of have the taste of luxury, the taste, the nectar, as I said, of GeForce Now Ultimate, it is hard to go back. Hey, Suarez, good to see you. I'll play it on Game Pass. Seems Game Pass is everywhere these days. Yeah, Cloudbusters, that is the plan. That's Xbox's big plan. As somebody, I saw a quote, I think it was Big Daddy Games or Gaming, I forget who it was, but said, they'd have Game Pass on PlayStation if they could get, obviously that's never going to happen, but you know what I mean? They'd get it on Game Pass, get it on PlayStation if they could. I mean, there was talk about getting it on Switch. I mean, these are sort of big blue sky thinking, probably never going to happen, but yeah, it's all about, they're beyond the console. Xbox now, as a brand, is beyond the console. Xbox was a console. Xbox now is the console games, cloud gaming, Xbox PC gaming. Yeah, Xbox is Microsoft's sort of gaming brand. It's not their console brand, if that makes sense. And if the Activision Blizzard deal goes through, then they'll have King and they'll have the Xbox mobile gaming. Yeah, so you'll have Xbox PC gaming, Xbox console gaming, Xbox cloud gaming, Xbox mobile gaming. That's what they're all about, so. Hey, Crow, how are you? Have we covered already the best place to play Xbox might be? Well, we have. I think we've done that, haven't we? I think it is. Like I mentioned on Monday, on the Monday show, in a way, I mean, I guess you have to pay. There are plenty of people who've got, if you live in the Xbox PC, if you live in the Xbox ecosystem and you're very happy with Xbox, fine. And then you've got people who are in the PC GeForce Now ecosystem and the option of being able to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass PC at $7.99 is a nice add-on to that. So you've got two different sort of camps. But if you're in both spheres, and then you've got a Venn diagram going on, and this bit in the middle is now really juicy because now you're going, I can play my games on my, Xbox games directly on my Xbox Series X or whatever. Or if I'm not happy with the FPS, I could play them via GeForce Now. So rather than xCloud. I mean, to be honest, yeah, that it makes xCloud a bit redundant. But only if you're into both ecosystems. If you're in the Xbox, I guess what I'm saying is if you're in Xbox exclusive Xbox ecosystem, then you have xCloud. You can play in the cloud there. You're quite happy. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to pay another, however much it is for a GeForce Now account if that's not your thing. I mean, I've always was a console gamer until I got GeForce Now Ultimate when it was 3080, and I was like, wow, I could be convinced about PC gaming now. And then 4080, it was double wow. Select games is the key. I think the aspiration, obviously, there are other factors at play, but obviously Xbox want to get as many games on there as well as basically it's like they're not, so basically Xbox are not a publisher that is reluctant to put their games on GeForce Now. That is the situation, yeah? That's the way to look at it. You've got some publishers who are still a bit kind of suck it and see, a bit reluctant about opting in to GeForce Now. You've got some publishers who are all in. Ubisoft, we're all in. Where possible, we're quite happy for our games to go on GeForce Now. Ubisoft have been like that for a long time. Xbox are now like that. Xbox, the games that they're in control of, the PC games they're in control of, I think they're in the Ubisoft camp now. They are more than happy to opt in their games to GeForce Now, and that's their intention. That's what they want to do. There may be complications along the way with certain games. There may be rights issues with, certain, with third-party publishers who have allowed their game to be on Xbox Game Pass, and whether they're happy with it going on GeForce Now. There may be some issues like that, but they're not like a Take-Two. They're not like an EA who are kind of much more circumspect or sort of still thinking about how this whole cloud gaming GeForce Now thing is kind of working, and maybe we'll put the odd game on there. We'll put a few Codemasters games on there, and we won't put everything. No. I think basically what we've got here is Xbox PC gaming is like Ubisoft. Where possible, they will try and get their games on GeForce Now, and it will be circumstances or issues that prevent them from doing it rather than themselves, if that makes sense, holding back the games. I don't think we're in a situation where Xbox will hold back games other than where there is a technical or rights issue that prevent them from doing it. That's the way I'm seeing it, just the way that Ubisoft do it as well. They're quite happy. Ubisoft are all in cloud and all in on GeForce Now, and I think Xbox are. It does Xbox a massive favor, especially considering the accusation of the issue with the UK CMA market. This adds extra fuel to their case, doesn't it? Not only are they allowing their games to be, giving it to other cloud gaming, because the Xbox Game Pass PC is coming to Boosteroid as well, I think, as well. So it's that same sort of approach. The best place to play games is a GFN, absolutely. Geek the Sneak, wow, we're on fire, exploding. We need a Game Pass and a GFN subscription. Do you mean we need like a bundle? They should do an offer, shouldn't they? As a marketing exercise. Although oddly enough, it's weird because on one hand, xCloud is competing directly with GeForce Now. But on the other hand, Xbox see the value of having their PC games available by GeForce Now. I'm wondering what the politics behind that is. Is it to sort of demonstrate to the world that they're not being anti-competitive when it comes to, well, I say demonstrate to the world, demonstrate to the UK CMA that they're not being anti-competitive when it comes to cloud gaming and Game Pass and the value that Game Pass has if it stays within the Xbox ecosystem? Or is it Microsoft genuinely going, we just want to get the Xbox brand and the Xbox games out there. We just want to get people playing the Xbox games. Is that their genuine, is there I find it hard to believe it's sort of altruistic. There has to be a business motive behind it. But ultimately, who cares what the business motive behind it is if we all get to benefit? I mean, for me, it's absolutely ideal. I am the person in that Venn diagram. It's a win-win for me. Absolutely. I already have GeForce Now Ultimate. Sorry, I already have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It already gives me value. As I said, I play on my Xbox consoles. And now, but I love playing, having GeForce Now Ultimate and playing a few games on PC there that aren't on Xbox. Even games that are on Xbox, I prefer to play them on GeForce Now Ultimate now and then. And now, I have even more options. And what's better than options, yeah? More options. That's what's better than options. I want to say, everybody, there's loads of people in the house tonight. Really great to see. It's amazing how a few people turning up to the party changes my mood in my head. I shouldn't I shouldn't, do it. But it's great. It's great. I get that feedback. But do me a massive favor. 19 people in the crowd there chanting in the mosh pit. Put your hands in the air. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the likes. Because I like it. Remember, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find amazing content and bring people to shows like this. Anyway, as ever, let me see what's going on in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. So Crow Resin said it would be good, wouldn't it, to have some kind of special offer bundle. I wonder how that would work. But it appeals to a sort of a unique bunch of people like myself. Maybe they will do some special offers. As I say, in marketing. But the only weird thing is that they say that they're basically marketing another cloud gaming service if they did that. But yeah, it's very exciting times. One thing we have forgotten today is let me know what games you've been playing. Has anybody started playing Age of Empires 4? Also, actually, what date is it? The 15th. Payday 2. So I noticed, I think it was at the Xbox showcase, Payday 3 was announced. And Payday 2 was on free on Epic Game Store. I think it finishes tonight. If you haven't grabbed it. I certainly grabbed it. So Payday 3 was announced. But let's go Payday 2. Add-on, Payday, add-on. Where's Payday? Oh, it's one word. You telling me it's finished. It was. I'm sure it was on special offer. Maybe it's finished. It was free. It's still only $8.99. I've not played the Payday games. Are they sort of GTA kind of clones? Is that the thing? I'm sorry. I'll show you what I was looking at. Here, it was on Epic Game Store, and it was their free game of the week, but I think it must have finished. What is their free game then, I wonder, this week? Anybody know? What's an easy way of finding what their free game is? Browse. New releases. Mal of Mayhem. Layers of Fear. Okay. I'm just having a look. It's an easy way to see what they're... If anybody knows what their free game is this week... Free. Guacamole. Guacamole is free. I think it's Guacamole, whatever that is. Guacamole Super Turbo Championship Edition. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to the main studio. Right. Oh, I've lost all the chat. That's so annoying. Right. Doesn't make buying a PC5 and ST or PS Plus to get PlayStation 2. Exactly. So they've talked about making the PS5 games available via the cloud, haven't they, Sony? And if you own them as well, I think they were saying. GFN is smart to give out some free Ultimate trials. It hooked me in. It was the same with YouTube Premium. It's funny because we talked about that with GeForce Now, because they were trying to get some feedback on the priority and how it worked. I think they genuinely got, reasonable response from the, they were doing the priority promotion at half price, 6 months for half price or whatever it was. And I said that in that conversation with them, I said that they should definitely do some free Ultimate trials because it blows you away. And you might give priority a go if you feel, actually, I can't afford Ultimate, but I'll give priority a go. But as an advert for cloud gaming, Ultimate, I told them Ultimate just is amazing. It just blows you away. See, I'm happy that I can access my Xbox library in the cloud at the best quality. Indeed, it's a win. It is a win without a shadow of a doubt. Thing I hope for is bringing the GFN app to the console. Wow, yeah, oh my gosh. Could that happen? You see, now I'd say, from a business point of view, that I can't see that happening. But equally, I would have said that about Xbox Game Pass coming to GeForce Now. If you'd asked me, I mean, I can see, I could have, in the current climate, with them trying to demonstrate their not being, anti-competitive, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But if you'd asked me 12 months ago, oh, wouldn't it be great if Xbox Game Pass PC comes to GeForce Now? I'd be going, that's ridiculous. Of course that's not going to happen. Why would that happen? They're competing. xCloud and GeForce Now, they're competitors. Why would they suddenly give all their games to GeForce Now? It makes no sense. But look, 12 months later, here we are. So I'm not going to dismiss that concept. You never know. You never know. The GFN app on the console. Never say never. Given the recent, the recent news. Evening, Clive. It'll be interesting to see if the big Xbox games get released day one on GFN. Fingers crossed. Well, that's what we're hoping, Caseball. My assumption is yes. I mean, there may be, I can imagine there may be a day or two delay because it's an onboarding process, but you'd like to think they would get ahead of the game on that. I think we won't know for sure, I think, until the whole thing is up and running. Yeah, the app, the Xbox, PC app, the Microsoft Store app is up and running, and you be able to connect your GeForce Now account to it. They've got a good library of games on there. We won't see. My thinking is it should be, because ultimately it's the PC version of the game, and if the PC version of game, basically, if it's in the library, why wouldn't they onboard it at the same time? Do you know what I mean? Once the app is up and running, as and when the games get launched, just as, you get new releases on Steam, it should work the same way in principle. Yeah. Every week when we get new games, some games we get are old games that happen to already be on Steam, like Age of Empires 4, for instance. It's already on Steam. So it's not a new release on Steam, but Dordogne is a new release on Steam. So I'd like to think that it'd be the same way. It's a new release on Xbox, in the Xbox PC Game Store. It's a new release on Epic Store. It's, they're also available on GeForce Now at the same time. That's the thing, but we don't know. It's not guaranteed. I can't tell you, definitely this is going to happen and all of that. But that, I think, is my hope, aspiration, and my sort of suspicion that it will happen once the app is up and running. But don't take my word for it. It's just how I feel. Because it works with Steam. It works with Ubisoft. Day one, Ubisoft games. Why wouldn't it? It makes no rhyme or reason for it not to, other than technical reasons. I think the only thing xCloud and GFN are missing is the ability to stream your gameplay to YouTube and Twitch, etc. Yeah. I was just trying to think. You can stream, can't you? But that's if you're playing on Xbox, you can stream, but not on xCloud. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I know Luna do it, and obviously Stadia did it. And that's because they had direct access to a platform, if that makes sense. Luna's got a direct access to Twitch, Stadia, obviously, Google and YouTube. And the servers basically sat in the same place, or at least had the same connections to YouTube. So, the beauty of the Stadia model was, and I think Luna's similar, but the beauty of the Stadia model was that basically they send a picture, they send the picture back to you, your game, the game that you're playing, they send back to you. And at the same time, they could also send the picture straight to YouTube. And that was the beauty of it. That was like, seamless. It's not so straightforward, and GeForce Now obviously they're not all GeForce Now servers, if that makes sense. Obviously, GeForce Now work with partners around the world. In most of Europe and most of North America and Canada, it's the GeForce Now servers. But in other territories, they're using other people's services and other people's servers. So it wouldn't necessarily work globally. But I know what you mean. It is quite cool to be able to stream and not have to rely on a powerful PC to be able to do the streaming, which was the beauty of Stadia. In fact, that was the biggest thing for me when they first announced Stadia. And even though it wasn't available from day one on Stadia, which was disappointing, but I was patient, and when it came available, but because by the time it came available, I'd got into doing content creation anyway and bought a PC in order for me to do it, better and stuff like that, because of the podcasts that I do, these shows and stuff like that. So, but I always thought, it'd be so cool. I'll never be able to afford a gaming PC or a PC that I can stream, but be able to do it via Stadia will be amazing. But by the time they sorted it out, I did have the PC gonads to do it, yeah? Glad that the big Ubi games are all day one on GFN. Well, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's the same principle, yeah? As I said, Ubisoft are all in. I think, basically, the way to see it, the way I see it, is there's no reason that there's no Xbox PC games. Once the store is up and running, there's no way it shouldn't, there's no reason it shouldn't run like Ubisoft runs. Yeah? They're not an EA, going to be Select. They're not a Take-Two or a Capcom even. They're in. Would be nice streaming like Luna. Yeah. I mean, as I say, Luna and Stadia are advantage because they had direct connection with the platforms that they're sort of both streaming the games to and being able to stream to you, the servers basically, and straight to Twitch. Xbox and Microsoft directors play a game on GFN, then the same on xCloud. Yeah, well, imagine them playing it. Yeah. Well, part of me thinks, why didn't if I tell you what would. I can't see it happening, but I tell you what would satisfy the UK CMA. What if Xbox said, well, actually, okay, we'll divest ourselves of xCloud and we'll just let GeForce Now do it. The trouble is, one plays, that you're playing on xCloud, you're playing the Xbox console version of the games. That's quite interesting. In xCloud, you're playing the Xbox One Series X version of the game. On GeForce Now, you'll be playing the Xbox PC version of the game. So you're actually, in a way, you could say they're not necessarily competing in the same way because PC gamers who might own the PC game are probably not likely to have the game on the Xbox console because they're PC gamers. I mean, yeah, there's people in that Venn diagram bit in the middle, but generally, in a way, it's not necessarily a direct competition because, yeah, xCloud is playing Xbox console games. And GeForce Now is just about PC games. So I can't actually see them merging and using the servers and stuff. And just saying, right, GeForce Now, you run xCloud because xCloud plays. The whole point of xCloud is they are Xbox Series X equivalents in the server. And in GeForce Now, it's all about PC gaming. Nvidia is just about getting people to play PC games. That's what GeForce Now is about. That's all they're interested in. They just want people to play games on PC. But it's interesting. It's interesting having these sort of thought experiments, isn't it? Because things have been thrown up in the air. Things, like I said, 12 months ago, I would never have said, no, you wouldn't get Xbox Game Pass on GeForce Now. That's a ridiculous idea. I know people have said it, but I dismissed them and thinking you don't have no idea of business. And they probably didn't. They were just, but it's just the crazy world we live in. That circumstances meant that actually, in a way, Microsoft and Xbox have had to consider it and have actually said, you know what, actually this could be a win for us because of the Activision Blizzard deal. They've had to kind of consider it, and maybe, blue sky thinking, they thought actually this could be a win for us. Maybe this isn't, cannibalism, because one could argue that you're cannibalizing your own market. But they've obviously done the analysis and think, well, even if we cannibalize our market slightly, the benefits far outweigh the negative side because they've had to think about it because of the Activision Blizzard deal and the focus that they've got from the FTC and the UK and various competition and markets authorities around the world has forced Xbox to think about these options. And by doing that, I think they've considered actually there could be an upside on this. So consumers benefit. I still like to play on my console. I must admit I do because my console is... I think there's a difference between playing on your PC and playing on your console. And I don't mean technically. I just mean the vibe around it. You're sitting at your desk or your PC desk, yeah? Here I am with my gaming chair and my PC monitors and my PC and I'm at my gaming desk, whatever, my desk, it's just a desk, my gaming desk and all of that. But my console is on my TV, next to my TV. And I sit back and I want to play console games on my TV with my controller and all of that. Now, yes, I know you could play, your PC games via NVIDIA Shield and all that. No, I'm talking about normal people, everyday people. Yeah, have a console by the TV and their gaming PC on their desk or by their desk. You know what I mean? It's a different gaming vibe. Yeah, you can't take that away. It is, like sitting in an armchair playing with your controller, playing a console game. I'm a console gamer at heart. I always have been. And I'm a recent convert to PC gaming, but I still love my console. I'm itching to test GFN my ROG Ally. Or Ally, call it what you will. But parent, ER game. I know, actually, mobile gaming is not my thing, but I tell you what, I'd like to see what the screen is like in the outside in the daylight, because I tell you what, I've been sitting in my garden all week. As soon as I got a chance, every time I need to sort of get up from work and walk away from my desk or grab a cup of tea or a coffee, sit on my deck chair in my garden, chilling, maybe the ROG Ally would be perfect. Got a nice eBay purchase on the GPU, got 1080 for 145 quid. Bargain. Can now play 2K in ultra wide. See, I've not played ultra wide yet. Don't have it. Luna is the closest thing to Stadia, but like Stadia, the main games are missing. Yeah. F1, Battlefield, PUBG, FIFA, WRC. Call of Duty. Logitech D-Cloud is a handheld I would go for over Ally. Guacamole. We were right. It was Guacamole. Curious what Guacamole is. PC Gamer always reports on the free Epic game. Yeah, I would never have guessed. They always sort of give a little hint, don't they? A little clue on the picture. A little reveal. But I've never heard of Guacamole. Or it's Guacamele, isn't it? Guacamele, yeah. Guacamele. Can play xCloud on console, runs perfect. Yeah, I played it. I play xCloud on my console, and it is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. And I play it on the old LG, and LG upgrades the pitch quality a bit, and it's a great way to dive into new Xbox Game Pass release games without downloading it. There are some games I'm thinking, no, I don't want any interference, interruption. I'm downloading this one. But there's other ones like, I'm like Tokyo Y or whatever, Ghost Story, Tokyo Y, whatever it's called. I thought, I'm curious. I'll give it a go. High on Life. I got into that, and then after a while, I thought, actually, this is really good. I'm going to download it. I think I nearly finished it, actually, by the time I downloaded it. But it's a great way, and the games you don't necessarily want to download. I can do 2.120 hertz. Can console GFN app would run at its best. Power cloud and console. Yeah. Do it, Phil. Yeah, indeed. Hey, Jerome, how are you? My internet's very wonky for the last 8 hours. Oh, man, never mind. 48 hours. Reset you. That's it. That's what I do. Just playing around with me. The lights go off on one of my various Wi-Fi pods around the house. Reset. Sometimes I think, there's a little mini computer in your Wi-Fi router thing, Gets hot sometimes. Well, even I think there's like a little sort of cache in there. Just needs clearing now and then. Multiple times. Maybe it's just one of those days. Yeah, you can stream to Twitch in app. Yeah. I did that recently, actually. I used to, of course, back in the day, I used to stream direct to, and I think I've told this before, but to Mixer, straight from Xbox. And then I went through Lightstream, who had a online app that allowed you to put scenes on, like OBS, overlay it. So actually, you looked like you were like streaming using OBS or whatever, and you didn't need a powerful computer. And that's what got me into sort of streaming initially. And I used to play Sea of Thieves and maybe Minecraft and stream it with overlays and pop-ups. Thanks to Lightstream. You have to pay for Lightstream now, but back in the day you got, I did pay for a premium version. But yeah, and it was really cool. And you could have a camera and everything. So I set it all up. So it made me look like I was sort of like, you know, like a pro streamer. I mean, the quality maybe wasn't that amazing, but, you know, camera, overlays, pop-ups if somebody subscribed, all that kind of stuff using Lightstream, streaming, which connected with your, if you know, streamed straight from Xbox to Mixer. And it was really cool. And Mixer was really like a more friendly, I think, community than, say, Twitch. And it was fun. And I met people like, you know, like the Stadia community, you know, grew up, and people who watched it, you know, that kind of started around. There was a sort of a Sea of Thieves community that used to stream. And we used to jump on each other's stream and stuff like that. And it was really nice back in the day. In fact, I started streaming, I think, my son, and the guy, like, I've not streamed with this guy for like 3 years back in the day when it was on Mixer, and he was, you know, sent me an invite going, fancy playing, out of nowhere after like 3 or 4 years. GeForce Now will do it eventually. You never know. I think more likely that what will happen is you'll get some kind of app or some functionality. I think it's more likely to be some kind of functionality that maybe you could, and I'm not sure how it would work, that you could just like almost put in like a browser code or like a browser address or something like that in OBS. Or no, yeah, like a cloud version of OBS or something like Lightstream, like I was saying. Like if there was a sort of an online app that meant that it was using the resources of the cloud rather than your resources on your PC, that would be the really cool thing. People didn't really use it even on Stadia. It worked great, it did. Yeah, that was a beauty. 4K, because it was coming straight from the source. There was nothing in the way in the chain. It streamed the best quality version. Arguably, in some cases, the version that went to YouTube may have been better than some of the versions that you actually got natively. We never get the games we want. Yeah. Couch gaming, Clive. Yeah, not going to play in the garden. Oh, just, you know, I do my Duolingo in the garden. I test the Aloe in the sun tomorrow. I'll let you know. Thank you, ER Gaming. Yeah, it gets too hot. Yeah, it definitely needs cooling. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Great show today. Good to see. We had, like nearly 20 people today pop in. That's really great, because I was umming and ahhing about doing a show tonight because, as I said, I've been working all evening. You don't want to. I tell you, I'm glad this is. I'm glad you're not in the same room as me. Put it that way, right? Woo. Been working in the garden, shoveling gravel. Probably done about half a bag, so about 400 kilograms over the evening of gravel, transporting it from the front to the back on a hot day. But I thought, no, I didn't do a show last week because I had guests come over. So you deserved it. And I wanted to talk about Xbox Game Pass PC because it was a big thing and all of that. So thank you for turning up. Thank you for hitting the likes. Thank you for continuing to support me. I really, really appreciate it. And it's when we get a good crowd in the house, as it were, like anything, like any live event, when you've got a good crowd, the show goes swimmingly and is great to do and is super enjoyable. So I really, really appreciate it. So a big thank you to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And hopefully we're coming up to the weekend soon. Have a wonderful weekend. And hopefully I'll see you Xbox Monday Night Chat If not, same time, same place, this show. See you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.